Yes, beautiful, beautiful Sunday, sisters. Yes, I hope you have your tea. I hope you have your water. I hope you have your pen and your paper because we're going to get into it today. God says we're going to get into it today. I want to thank all of you who are members of the Coochie Church. I want to tell you that I love you on this morning. I love you, dear sister. And when I say sister, I truly mean sister. And we're going to get into what is that today. But first, we going to open up. I think I see Mama Moot here. Mama Moot, are you here? Yes, I see Mama Moot here. Mama Moot, I believe you are the elder of the group. Can we continue, Mama Moot? Do not move and keep quiet. Now, if you are ready, let's begin. Okay, somebody got some kind of some kind of meditation on. Mama Moo? Okay. Well, you know what? We got Mama Yvette over here, Mama Eva, who is also one of our beautiful elders of our community.
Gratitude.
And we are going to have Mama Eva open us up in prayer this morning.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Mama Eva, I'm going to go ahead and let you have the floor. This is
All
our
right.
prayer.
Can you hear me?
Mama Eva here.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Are we ready to open up?
Yes, ma'am. We can open the floor.
All right.
Temple.
Mother, Father, God, divine Holy Spirit. First of all, we give thanks to Ra. We give thanks for this brand new day. We call in the air, fire, water, earth, and spirit on today. Guardians and gatekeepers of the East, we call on you. Guardians and gatekeepers of the South, we call on you to be with us today in this divine circle. Guardians and gatekeepers of the West, guardians and gatekeepers of the North, as above, so below. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you for this opportunity to just share and to hear the revelation that we're going to hear today. We open up our hearts. We open up our root Aritu today, our energy center. We open up our sacral center. We open up our solar plexus center to receive everything that we need to hear today. The transmissions. We open up our heart center. We open up our throat. We open up our first eye. We open up our crown. We call upon our ancestors who walked in a righteous way. We call upon our Orishas. We call upon our divine higher self. We call upon our galactic team. We call upon our spirit team. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you. We call upon our mothers today. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you. And lead us the right way. We open the way that you might lead us in the right direction. We thank you for this time of fellowship and growth and understanding and overstanding today. Ashe, amen, and our woman.
Ashe, amen, and our woman. Thank you. Thank you, Goddess. I appreciate your love and your support. Priestess, prayer, priestess, warrior. Yes, yes. And if you don't know, Goddesses, this is one of our priestesses of the Coochie Church. She did an amazing prayer on last Sunday. So if you are part of our exclusive community on Facebook, and if you just heard about us and you're not, please go over there and listen to that powerful prayer of activation. Okay, she's doing amazing work. Thank you, Goddess. I appreciate you, Divine.
Gratitude.
Yes, yes. So, many of you are new to the space, and we want to thank you for being here as well. I'm doing some, okay. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, got to make sure everything is on point, right? You know how sisters are. We got to make sure everything is on point. I see Kim here, Allison. I see Queen here. I see Warrior Child Wayne's here. I see LaPrecious here. Yes, I see Ocean, Rhonda, Eve. I see Terry. I see Requisa. Yes, thank you,
Pero tú sabes
thank
que they're very
you so
lovely.
much.
Me trataron súper bien las señoras de allá arriba. Like that.
One
I
of
don't know
my
what they say.
Latinas, honey, is on here, honey, just going home this morning. Thank you for coming through, my brown sisters. Yes, we need our Black and brown relationships to be stronger. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so many of you have either heard by someone and have been invited by someone, and thank you. I'm gonna mute you, Quisa. You muted yourself. Good, baby. Thank you so much. Okay. So you've either heard from someone or you've been invited by someone, or you're new to the actual Coochie Church. We want to thank you. Let me let you know a little bit about what the Coochie Church is in our history. We started off as a book club in 2022. February of 2022, we started off as a Womb Awakening book club, and what has evolved is a actual ministry. And the Coochie Church, this is the gospel according to her. It is the gospel of the divine feminine and the true spirituality of the ancient texts of the sibyls, the oracles, the priestesses, and the goddesses. I have been commissioned by the mothers to do this womb healing work and to bring information, knowledge, and activation to the gene code, primarily of melanated women, so that they can remember who they are. Okay, remember that you are the matriarch. And right now, in this time, it is a returning of the matriarch. So, what is the matriarch? That is the head, the political rulership, and the system of how the community and even that part of the world was ran through the mother's lineage. The mother's lineage. You know, now we have everything is patrilineal. Everything runs through the father's lineage. However, the first 4 months of birth, of gestation, you are female. Everyone comes here female, 2X chromosomes. One of those chromosomes fall off, and then there is an XY that creates a male. But for the first 4 to 6 months of your existence in the womb, okay, in the sacred waters of mother's womb, everyone comes here female. Okay, I'll even make a even more clear point. God, the Most High, the energy source of all that is, all that will ever be, all that was and wasn't, okay, is directly connected and linked to the woman. How is that? Because we bring forth all life in legacy. We bring forth all life and legacy. Do you understand? We are the portals of activation from the spirit world into this human existence. And that holds a whole lot of weight. Even the Christ, who they say is the Christed one, the crystalline one, okay, Yeshua, Jesus, whatever term or name you choose to call this elevated being of God consciousness, even came through a woman. Okay, he even came through a woman. Everything on this earth comes through the vessel and the portal of life through a woman. So we standing side by side with the all-purpose, all-knowing, all energy source of everything. Okay, so we are the primordial women, melanated women. We are the primordial women. And we've always been free, empowered, and divine. So the Coochie Church is here so that you can remember, respond, reactivate, and recreate your place. Okay? Your place and your purpose in this existence. Right now, as I said, we are in the return of the matriarch, and in the return of the matriarch, we are only preparing the way for our daughters, our granddaughters, and our great-granddaughters. And I think we need to give a moment of silence for the descendants. Breathe in with me deep, breathe in with me deep. Hold that breath. Breathe out. Let's do 2 more. Breathe in with me deep. Hold that breath. One more time, goddesses, breathe in. Hold that breath. Ooh, breathe out. I give gratitude right now for the descendants. I give gratitude for the ancestors who have paved the way, who have created this presence of us being able to come here and connect. Do you know how much love, pain, existence, survival, innovation, and creativity was endured to create you? We were in our great, 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 great grandmother's wombs. We were in her eggs. We were part of her existence. We are a part of the primordial mother's existence in the here and now. I need you to truly understand your essence. It is so much more than what they have you believing. And that's why we are here at the Coochie Church, okay? If you'd like to hear more temple sermons on the gospel according to her, I suggest you go over to YouTube to Love My Womb Academy, or you could just type in the Coochie Church and you can go back and listen to the word according to her. Thank you, thank you. So we're gonna get right into it. I wanna appreciate all of you once again who are here. I'm going to share my screen because you know I have to do a level of teaching. Also, is Eve here? I think Eve is here. Eve, are you here, my dear sister?
Yes, ma'am. I'm right here.
Okay, this is our other priestess, also the admin of our exclusive community. Eve, I'm gonna go ahead and bring you in so you can introduce yourself to everyone. Where are you, Eve? I'm looking for you below. Okay, here you go. Let me put you here. Come on in here, please, before I get started, and introduce yourself, goddess.
Okay. Am I? Oh, hold on. Wait a minute.
I can hear you and see you.
Okay. Okay, cool. So I am Eve Bernice. I also go by Eve Love Love, and I am an alumni of Love My Womb Academy, also an instructor for Love My Womb Academy. I identify as a multidimensional clear channel to divine love, truth, and wisdom. As I'm on my journey unpacking what is that for me, and every day I show up as a different incarnation of that. We'll say that, and so I'm happy to be here and just share my truth, share space with you all. I am a mother of 2 boys. I don't have girls, but yet, my granddaughters, I don't know if I'll have any from my womb, but I know I'll have some granddaughters one day. So I'm just happy to be here, happy to share and spreading the gospel and just reconciliation and coming together and really defining what, love is, what sisterhood is, all the things. So thank you.
Things. You're welcome. Thank you, sis. And of course, as we get into it, when we want to go ahead, because I'm gonna open up the temple so that people, the sisters can speak, and then I want you to come in as well and share some of your wisdom. Thank you, guys.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen, dear sisters, and we're going to get into it. We're going to get into it. Welcome to the Coochie Church. Yes. Welcome to the Coochie Church. Can you see that screen, Goddesses? Please let me know. Can someone let me know out loud?
Yes,
Thank
yes,
you.
we see it. Mhm.
Thank you so much. Yes. Okay. So we're going to get right into it. Let's see. All right, I'm Tracy, the Sacred CEO, award-winning instructor, inducted into the Spa Hall of Fame. I'm ordained minister, priestess, master on license in social work and human sexuality. I am the founder of Love My Womb Academy, the largest womb health and wellness, feminine wellness academy in the nation. We are board certified. We have over 3,300 graduates, six-figure earners, and some millionaires. I've been featured in Essence Magazine, Vogue, Viceland TV, Priestess TV, Woman to Woman Magazine, podcasts, talks, international speaker. I'm an herbalist, a medicine woman, an oracle, a prophetess, sex experts, and self-love and life coach. I have helped women, numerous women, gain financial freedom through business education, support, and empowerment. I am also a visionary, and I'm also assigned by the mothers to do this work, okay? To come in and speak for the primordial mothers. I was initiated into the Ajay, the Yami, at birth, So I come from a place of authenticity when I speak to you, when I come to you with this word. Ashe, ashe. All right. So let's get into it. Every sister ain't a sister. Okay. Every sister ain't a sister. Okay. And as you can see, I did those spellings. I did a play on words because the SISTA usually is that intimacy we feel one to another when we say my sister. But that SISTR is dealing with more of that blood kin union, right? So we have a lot of sisters who haven't been a sister, but then we have a lot of sisters that have become a sister without any blood kin. I have a few that I consider my sister. So it's what? Sister from another mister, right? Like they say, brother from another mother. Well, can be my sister from another mister. Please make sure that everyone is on mute. Just check your channels real quick and make sure you're on mute. All right. So what is a sister? Let's get into it. A female who has the same parents as another. Okay. So one to another, we have the same parent. We have the same mama, we have the same dad, right? So we go into matriarchy, meaning we have the same mother. Patriarchy, meaning we have paternal. So we got maternal, mother, paternal, father, right? So now they have it to where if you have the same father, this is how they switched it up on us. If you have the same father, you're considered whole sisters, but only if you could share the same mother without the same father, that means you're half sister. That makes no sense. If you shared the same womb space and came through the same birth canal, you are considered sister, whole sister. Okay. And they switched it up in order to honor the patriarchy, but we'll get into that a little later about what is the patriarchy and how it affects us as women and our bonds one to another. Okay. So a sister is also a woman who is a member of the same race, ethnicity, ethnic background, church, religious group, or organization as others. So we have a shared common experience, right? We're sharing in a common experience. Sister may be used as a form to address another woman. Hey, sister, what's up, sis? Oh, that's my sister. Yeah, those my sisters over there, right? It's used as a term of what? Endearment. But let's get into this. Sister is also a woman who is the member of the same race, ethnicity, church, religious group, or organization. What I'm finding here is, especially as Black people, we personally love to recycle trauma. We do. You might want to write that down. Hope you got your pen and paper. We like to recycle trauma. We do. We have not learned the art, the wisdom on how to let things go, how to disassociate ourselves and recreate our narratives. We as a whole have not tactfully used emotional intelligence in order to release and relieve ourselves from the bonds and the systematic effects of trauma. I want to write that down. So, with us having a shared ethnicity, meaning that we are melanated, meaning that we are natives of the land, meaning that many of us have a religious background, many times we are bonded by those very things, right? Shared generational history, shared intergenerational trauma. We're sharing in that experience. Please put your mics on mute. Check yourselves now. So we're sharing in that experience, and in sharing in that experience, we've learned to what? Trauma bond. Okay. Now I got to go find you because you ain't listening. LMTMG, can you please put yourself on mute? I got you. Okay. So, what is sisterhood? Let me see if I did this right. Okay, so now I got to go back because, hold on with me, please, ladies. That really threw us off, but we'll get there. Okay, it's nothing but a recovery, nothing but a recovery. Okay, so let me go here, go back to my slide. So now I got to go back. All right, let's stop the share and go back. And this is why I need you to please respect the space and put your mics on mute when you come in, because it can really just kind of hold up, the process and the thoughts, and especially interrupt the interaction of spirit and the mothers. Okay. So once again, a community and society of sisters. What is sisterhood? Let's go there. So sisterhood, and we talked about trauma bonding. We talked about recycling trauma. We talked about having shared intergenerational history, right? So what is sisterhood? A community or a society of sisters, a society of women in either a religious order, an organization, okay, or a group. The solidarity of women based on shared conditions, experiences, and concerns. So let's think about that. When we are intimately bonding one to another, what do we find that we have in common? We find out that we have commonalities. We have shared experiences, right? We may have both had our children at 18. We may both had, a man that came from Detroit. We might both have, both of our children's are 10 years old, or, both of our parents came from North Carolina. Like, it's these shared experiences and conditions and concerns that bring us together, where we relate one to another. Okay, so think about those sisters who were very close to you and those things that you share that's common, which are the glue and the adhesive to your your relationship and your experience, right? So sisterhood, what does that mean to be a sister? What does it mean to be a sister? Okay, Sisterhood is about supporting women with our words and our actions. All right. It's about supporting one another in our words and our actions. It's offering a listening ear, and it's giving a helping hand. There's more than enough room for all of us to thrive, and we have to uplift each other in word and in deed for that to be so. Now, many of us are struggling with this area. Why? Because we all have had an experience or many experiences where we've been betrayed by sisters. Okay, so that's where we go into every sister is not a sister, right? We've been betrayed. You know, she's either taken our information and ran with it and gossiped about our information. She's either judged us in quiet or out loud. She's either criticized us in ways that made us feel bad and insignificant. You know, she's even went as far as to steal our ideas. She's, you know, our money, our men, you know, and first of all, you can't steal nothing. You can't steal no person unless you know, you going back to some slavery stuff, you know, that he has to be willing. Let's be clear. Okay. And many times what we do is we take it out on the woman because of the inadequacy that we feel in ourselves. So whenever we get into a position where a sister has significantly stepped out of line and came for our men, but you have to also take into account that the men also stepped out of line and went for her as well. It's a two-way thing. But what we do is we take it out on the sister instead of checking him because of the reflection that we see in that sister, because somewhere in there we're feeling an inadequacy. We're feeling like she had something more than us. She has something that I don't have. It's she, it's she, it's she, when really we have to look at him. How did he interact in dealing with her where she felt comfortable enough to even do that to? See, there's not just one person betraying you. There's two people betraying you. Those of you who have just entered the temple, please put your mics on mute. Check it down. Okay, so there's not one person betraying you, dear sister. There's two people betraying you. However, many times we don't allow or make the brother accountable and responsible for his interactions. And that's based on how we feel about ourselves. Okay. So what does it mean to be a sister? It means to support and love one another. When it comes to being there for one another, are you there for your sister? Many times we're not. Why? Once again, we have pain, we have trauma, we have hurt. A lack of judgment and unconditional love, regardless to our shortcomings and our mistakes, are very, very important. We can't do that though if we're hurting. And that's where many of us are. We're hurting. We're hurting as Black women as a whole. We are hurting. We are tired. We are in survival mode. We are constantly serving, reaching, striving, and surviving. That's a lot. So if we can't even show up for ourselves in relationship to ourselves and who we are, how do we expect to show up for another sister, or how do we expect another sister to even show up for us? We're constantly pointing the finger at the Black man. Well, today we're going to take a good look at ourselves. We're going to take a good look at ourselves and how we treat ourselves and one another. Because a lot of the things that the brothers do to us, they would not be able to do if we wouldn't and didn't allow it. We allow them to manipulate us. And in allowing them to manipulate us, we give them the green light that it's okay to do that, not just to us, but to what? Our sisters, our daughters, our granddaughters. Now, when I put it like that, it makes you think differently, huh? Just think back. I want you to take this opportunity and think back to a time when you have outright allowed a brother to disrespect your person, your paper, your house, your mind, your principles. When you have allowed that based on how you felt about yourself at that time. Now understand, once you know better, we do better, right? But at that time, we weren't as strong as we possibly are now. Okay, we didn't have as much confidence as we do now. We didn't have set boundaries like we do now. Why? Because then we was in school. We was in school, sis. A lot of our brothers come as master teachers to show you who you are in that moment on your measure in your spectrum of self-love. Oh, I'm talking. Did y'all hear the mothers coming through? I repeat that. A lot of the brothers who came into our lives and manipulated us came into our lives as master teachers to show us who we were and where we were on the spectrum in measurement of our own personal self-love and how we demonstrate that to ourselves. If we are not demonstrating that to ourselves, there is no way we are going to be able to share that. A healthy love, companionship, friendship, intimacy, and bond with a sister if we don't have that for ourselves. Black men are our master teachers. So, as a sister, have we showed up in judgment? Have we showed up with unconditional love, regardless of our sister's shortcomings and mistakes? Many of us haven't. So yeah, we have a long line of sisters who have betrayed us, but then we have to look in the mirror and ask ourselves, are we also a long line to some other sisters where we betrayed them, right? So a sister can give us a level of empowerment where we feel validated and encouraged to provide that same thing to other sisters so that we can go through life more confident, more bold, and able to live without concern of judgments or a negative gaze from other sisters. These qualities are so very important for Black women to have and to hold one to another. But until we do that personal level of work about how we feel about ourselves, we're not going to be able to show up and be that example to our sisters. And they're not going to be able to show up and be that example to us. I know for me, stop this share for a moment. I know for me, how I really came into the work of healing and sisterhood was through my lack of what I received from my mother. I always desired to have this close bond and this relationship with my mother, when the truth is, my mother really doesn't like me. I'm just going to keep it real. My mother doesn't like me. She may have some love just based on that whole motherhood piece, but like me in general, no, she doesn't. Why? She had me at 8. She got pregnant at 18, had me at 19. She got pregnant by a married man, right? Just right at her senior year in school, who did not claim me, right? He didn't claim me, nor did he claim her. He denied me all the way through her pregnancy. This is in the 60s. So at that time, baby, a Black woman, pregnant, no husband, young, haven't even finished school. Do you know what kind of social and blemish she had on her as a Black woman. Shame, baby. Come on, Ocean. Shame, insecure, shame, fear, frustrated, disappointed, all in herself. Yes, Twi. All in herself. She's feeling this about herself, right? So I'm also being incubated in these emotional filled waters of shame, fear, disappointment, frustration, fear, all of that. I'm being born in these emotional filled waters. Remember, the body is 75, 85% water. I'm coming from these waters. All words in energy vibrates the waters in your body every day, all day. My words are penetrating the waters in your body and activating your cells right now. That's why you feel me. That's why you feeling me. That's why you in the chat and giving your amens and your glories. Because I'm affecting you through my message of my words. So here I am being born into this. So in the 60s, what she looked, instead of looking at me as a blessing, she looked at me more as I was a burden. Because now I'm taking away from her young life. Anything that she planned on doing and being and all that, because you remember in the 60s, women weren't financially independent or secure. So she was going to have to depend on some man to help her with some other man's child, right? Meaning she had to think quick. She had to survive. And as Black women, we're always in survival mode. Even when we think we're relaxing, we still thinking about what we got to do next. Think about it. Come on now, Tanya. Think about it. You think about them clothes you got to wash. Come on, the Precious. You think about how you got to go to the grocery store. Come on, Twiley. You thinking about what you got to go to work tomorrow. Oh, I got to get up and go to work tomorrow. Even when you're relaxing, you thinking about what you got to do next after you finish relaxing. That's not relaxing. Antoinette said every day is exhausting. Yes, right? So here she's having this child at 19 and don't know what her future holds. No, I was not liked by my mother. And I felt it every day while I was young. I felt it every day. We've even had the discussion, right? But something even as important as my relationship to my mom, the first woman, okay, my relationship with that first woman, because you got to remember, your relationship with your mother also is going to set up the stage and the behavior on how we're going to relate one to another as sisters. Let's be clear. So in my creation of Love My Womb Academy, and I've always created sister circles and groups and things like that, I was always searching for the intimacy of my mother. Yeah. That's why I kept continuing to create these sister circles in these groups, because I was looking for that. No, it hasn't stopped. I'm looking for that intimacy of my mother, that hold, that hug, that bosom, that love, that commitment, that encouragement, that speaking life into me. All of that. I need that to thrive as the woman I came here to be, the blueprint that I came here to be. My soul blueprint needs my sister. So always creating these type of paradigms and circles, what has happened, that also came with a lot of betrayal as well as a lot of loss. Okay. Why? Because once again, we are not clear and sure about how to love ourselves. So when we see a reflection of ourselves in one another, we're not sure how to love her either. So it still all goes back to how you respond and love yourself, right? Said my cousins get from my mother. I got challenges, weird, must be the reflection. Yes, that's exactly LMTMG. Yes. And this is what I want to bring to you. And I want you to think about this, goddesses. How was your relationship, not just to your mother, but your mother's relationships with other women? Ooh, now let's think about that. Oh, I done touched on some things now, baby. I done touched on some things now. How was the relationship with your mother? Ocean said competitive. How was the relationship that you seen? What did you pick up? These said toxic. What did you pick up? The relationship that you seen your mother have with other women and the women, how was the relationships with the women in your family? Did the women in your family compete with one another? Did the women of your family call each other and gossip about one another? Did the women in your family get together, talk shit, and about to fight every holiday with one another? Did the women in your family hold grudges for years and years? She cared more about her friends than us, Karen said. Honey. So I want you to look at the pattern of where you may have learned how to be a sister, or how should I say, how do you relate to other women? Was you raised up with women that told you don't you trust other women because they'll fuck your man, they'll take you this, they'll do this, don't you trust them bitches, you better not tell that bitch shit, don't get that bitch this. Was you raised around women who this is how they refer to other women? It wasn't positive at all. So can you see now how many of us have not have not learned how to show up one for another, because once again, we have not been taught correctly in a healthy, non-toxic manner what it means to have a relationship with another woman and collaborate. We have not been taught this. Why haven't we been taught this? One of the reasons is because we had to depend on men for so long for our resources. It set up a line of competition amongst who was going to get fed and who wasn't. Do you understand what I'm saying here, sisters? If you agree, if you understand what I'm saying, put a 1 in the chat. Come on. I need you to think. I need you to open your mind right now. Okay? When we were depending on men for resources financially, okay? When we were depending on men for homes, when we were depending on men for land, when we were depending on men for property, when we were depending on men in these areas, it set up a line of competition for us, one to another, who was going to get it and who wouldn't. Which also set up a line of competition between the light-skinned woman and the dark-skinned. Oh, we're going to get into it today. That's where the line of competition, because remember, everything that was white was right? Everything that was black was whack, right? Okay, so it looked like the mulattoes, so that's the old school term. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about, the mulattoes. The lighter skinned women had more favor at resources, and the darker skinned women didn't. So that created what? Static and a separation and a division among women too. I'm telling it like it is. But see, what we fail to realize, we keep addressing the woman as the problem. It's not the light-skinned woman that's the problem. It's not the dark-skinned woman that's the problem. What it is the system of patriarchy and capitalism that we're under that has created this competition for resources. Because remember, we didn't have no positions of power as women. We didn't have positions of power as women. They took that from us with this patriarchy. Our position of power was in matriarchy. Okay? So we didn't have access to power, resources, and systems. We had to depend on men. And the men were what? The resource. And that's why to this day, you still have the pick me. You still have the pick me system. Pick me, pick me. Come on, I'm over here. I can out shake her. I can out twerk her. I can out cook her. Uh-huh. Yep, my pussy juicier. Come on, come get it. Come get it. I'm over here. Yeah, you come get it. Come on, pick me. Pick me. Yes, that's why, because many of us that don't identify with how to create our own resources, especially now that we have opened up into coming into matriarchy, and now that women have access to finances and education and property and business, now that we have access to these resources on our own, we still have a level of women who lack creativity in order to have access to those resources. So they're still depending on men and still having pick me, pick me, pick me, and will cut your goddamn throat to get it. Come on. We'll move you all out the way, honey. We'll slide up under you, baby. Cook for you, be your sister, be all of that the whole time. She wants what? Your resources. Ooh, this thing goes so deep. It goes so deep, sis. It goes so deep. We'll have a man and still cut your throat. Yeah, because it's something you have that she wants, queen. I mean, ocean. It's resource. That's what we're competing for here. When a sister goes in and betrays you, it's usually because it's either something that she wants, it's something you have. When she connects with you, you either have a network, you have a person she's trying to get connected to. It's something she wants. Your ideas, she see your ideas is always firing off, and you have a level of creativity, and she's there to sit beside you and learn what you know and siphon your juju. Ooh. How many sisters have been there to siphon juju, not showing up totally honest about what it is they need or want? Okay, not showing up totally honest about what they need or want from you. You know, I can call Sister Allison and say, hey, Sister Allison, I know you deal in this area of life, and I like your work, and I appreciate everything you do, sis. I wanted to know, is there any opportunity you can sit down with me and talk to me and give me some game on that? And you know, is there an exchange? I can, you know, I can do something for you, sis. I got this much money, or I don't have any money, but I can do this for you. I see you need this. I can barter this. I like, come with honest conviction, and that's how we help one another. But all that sliding in, trying to be slicker than a can of oil and want to be around and act like you really liking the sister when really it's something you after. Yeah. Yeah. And see, when I was unaware of who I am in the divine feminine, you know, I was pretty good at that. See, I'm keeping it real where I fell off as a sister. Oh, I wasn't always a sister. No, I wasn't always a sister, but I always had a love for women. Okay. And whenever I did I put myself in position where I wronged one of my sisters, I always felt conviction. Let's be clear. I've always felt conviction. And as I matured, okay, as I matured and got to a certain space and place, a few sisters that I felt was validated of my apology, I would call them later and let them know where I fucked up, and I'd apologize. Whether they accepted it or not, I needed to do that to stay in balance with my aunt. Okay, but that's when I became more conscious of who I am. That's when I began to evolve from a lower frequency. Okay, I can accept where I have been where I've betrayed my sister. I can accept where I came sly and slick. I can accept when I've lied to a sister. I can accept when I've just totally violated, just pushed the line, was a line step up. right? I can accept that. Why? Because we are all evolving and we are all in this big university called the earth trying to figure this thing out. And mistakes, so-called mistakes, are going to happen. Let's be clear. We're going to make them, but can you own them? Oh, uh-oh. Okay? When we making mistakes, are you owning them? That's what we coming up with today. All right? Going back to share the screen, goddesses. Yes, Ashe. Okay. So we went into what does it mean to be a sister, to have support and love for one another when it comes to being there for one another, a lack of not using a lack of judgment and having unconditional love regardless of our shortcomings and mistakes. A sister can give us a level of empowerment where we feel validated and encouraged to provide that same thing for other sisters so that we can go through life more confident, able to live without concern of judgments or the negative gazes from others one to another. And these qualities are so important for us melanated women to have. Okay, let's go in. We must represent by example. Representation is by example. We have to come up out the victim mode of what she did and what she didn't do, because you showed up in another sister's life and you've done some funky, nasty, dirty shit too. Come on, own it. Own it. We all have work to do in this area, but our representation is by example. We cannot expect what we are not willing to give. We cannot share the medicine if we are not taking the medicine. Come on. Representation is by example. First off, don't compete. Competition is a patriarchal capitalist construct. The division between many Black women has trickled into the workplace, friendships, and family. Light skin or dark skin, privileged or not, well-connected or not. We must refuse to accept the division of competition, especially because it started with plantation culture and through patriarchy. Understand that, write that down. It's based on who received resources and who didn't. Who received resources and who didn't. It's like having 4 kids, 4 beautiful children in a room, and 2 of them have dark hair and 2 of them have light hair. One of them has light eyes, the other one has dark eyes. And then you say, I want the light-eyed children. I'm going to give y'all a cookie. Right? So you're going to give the light-eyed children the cookie, and then you turn around and give the dark-eyed children a glass of water. Water is sustainable. It is a natural element that we need. But guess what? In a child's mind, even in some adult minds, you'd rather have had that sweet, comforting cookie, right? So right then, that starts a separation. It starts one to feel, the one that got the cookie, like they are possibly more deserving, as well as the dark-eyed person to feel like they're less deserving. Do you see how that mind game can be played easily, right? So we need to go back to the source and point of origin of how we got here in this competition one to another. Okay, so it started with plantation culture and patriarchy. It's based on who received resources and who didn't, who was favored and who wasn't, who worked in the house and who worked in the field. Don't attack. As Black women, we need to do better with telling it like it is without hurting one another's feelings. Just because some of us don't agree doesn't mean we need to attack one another. Historically, we as Black women have been shamed, belittled, bullied, and many of us have taken on this behavior, and it shows up in our communication, in our delivery, and in our interactions one to another. So write that down. Historically, Black women have been shamed, belittled, and bullied. And we have taken on this behavior and it's showing up. Okay? The attacks are showing up. So there are the effects of patriarchy. Let's go into patriarchy, what that is and what it isn't, right? Patriarchy refers to a social system where men hold primary power and authority, and women are often subordinate and disadvantaged. Patriarchy can have significant negative impacts on women's mental health and well-being and can be led to a range of mental health problems. Patriarchy can be defined in simpler terms as the oppression and objectification of women by men. In addition to its strictly economic form, this oppression is expressed in many forms. Right? So it's a social system where men hold primary power and authority, and women are often subordinate and disadvantaged. You see how that can play into the psyche of women where we feel we have to compete for resources. Think about it. All of us love a powerful, charismatic man. Come on. All of us love a brother that is powerful in his authority, standing on his purpose in his truth, fine and charismatic. Come on, it just make your pants wet. Let's talk about it. It does. It is what it is, right? Yes. So we all looking at that. We all, sharing in that. That's something that we all desire, right? So many times we have to go out of our way because we are the so-called subordinate disadvantaged class, the women. And so we have to go out of our way and do things in this competition to get that so-called man's attention, right? So patriarchy and capitalism, they are distinct systems whose interaction explains the oppression of women as well as workers. Okay, the patriarchy is a foundational tool of capitalism, right? It seeks to uphold male supremacy socially and economically, and within the private and public sectors. Therefore, it is essential to analyze how capitalism has played a role in our level of competition as women. It is used within gender constructs, and our response to it is used as a tool of exploitation. That's why you got so many of us out here shaking our ass half dressed. Ain't nothing wrong with being body positive and body aware. I'm all for the breasts and the vagina and the ass and the hips, honey. I got them. I understand. I'm all for it. But at what cost do you do this? Are you doing this out of body positivity and love for yourself, admiration for how far you've come with self-acceptance and body awareness? Or are you doing this because you need the attention of these men and this money? Right? We've learned how to exploit ourselves as a tool of economic gain now. And I know all too well about using sex as a tool of economic gain. I did that all through my young life. I understand the mindset of that. So I'm not judging. I'm just clearly pointing out the effects of patriarchy and capitalism and where we are now as women. Okay. So it's collaboration over competition. It's collaboration over competition. Why is it so important for us to collaborate as sisters? Why is it so important first for us to get ourselves together? For us to get ourselves in our self-worth, in our self-love, right with ourselves first before we even go into relationships with sisters. And truly, before we even go into relationship with brothers, we got to be together. We got to have our anointing. We got to know our anointing. We got to understand our purpose. We got to know our guidance, our direction. We got to have full power and direction before we go into relationship with anybody. And many times we're stepping into these relationships, we're not even sure about what the fuck we doing. And we going into these relationships, why? Because we can't sit with ourselves. Ooh. We don't want to sit with ourselves. Why? We haven't accepted ourselves. We haven't accepted who we are, what we've done, and where we've been. We haven't accepted that as experience to go to this next level and recreate and reinvent ourselves. We're still wallowing in that trauma. We still there. We don't want to let it go. We want to recycle all the shit that happened to me, because why? It leaves me in woe is me, and it gives me a certain amount of attention where people could feel sorry for me. I don't want that kind of attention. I don't want now person feel sorry for me. I don't want to be on the pitiful pot. I don't want to be in the pitiful line. That make me feel like I'm in the food line. In the pitiful line. I mean, ain't nothing wrong being the food line. You gotta do what you gotta do. Shit, I wish somebody could sell me some food stamps right now. I'm just speaking that loudly, but go ahead and email me if you need to. But anyway, hey, you in the food line, you doing what you gotta do. This, I get it, but just think about that. To be in the pitiful line, you in the pitiful line. Oh, woe is me. Oh, that sister, she got hurt when she was 12. Well, how old is she? She 38. Oh, goddamn. How long you gonna keep blaming what happened at 12 and you 38? I have to tell my daughters that now. Thank God they finally getting out of it. You can't keep blaming me. My youngest is gonna be 35 this year. You can't keep blaming me for some shit happened you way back then. Baby, I didn't own the trauma. I didn't apologize to you. I done went through the steps. I let you vent. We did all that, honey. I have heard you. I have allowed you to show up, and I've been accountable for my part of the trauma that has affected your life. I am clear about that, but you can't keep holding on to that at 35, hollering about what my mama did at 12. You sound real special. I said, just go on and apply for the Special Olympics, because you sound real special right now. And many of us are doing that. We're doing that. We keep nursing the wound that happened. Yes. Yes. And see, the beautiful thing about sisterhood, we all understand the pains and the hurts and the concerns of being a Black woman. Oh, we all get that, right? We understand that. But see, one thing I'm not going to do as your sister, and as Mama T, known as Mama T, Tracy Staples CEO, but honey, also known as Mama T, baby. Tracy, your sister, your mother, your mentor. One thing I will not do, you got one time to give me the story. You got one time. How do we not turn cold? We'll get to that. We got one time not to give. You got one time to give me the story. One time to give me the story. I'm going to hug you. I'm going to put you in my breast. I'm going to give you my heart chakra medicine. I'm going to kiss you. I'm going to love you. I'm going to give you all the words you need, sister. What you need me to bring. You need me to bring some wine. What you need me to bring the gun. What you need? What we riding out tonight at dawn? What the fuck we doing? Let's go. I'm with you. One time. One time. You got one time. After that, I'm all about solutions. What we doing now? What's next? What we doing? What we doing to correct this? What we doing not to have you feel like this? What you need? What you need from me? And if it's in my hands, and if I could do it, okay, I'm here for you. But you got one time. I'm not gonna let you do this song and dance and drag me in a pitiful line with you. We ain't standing in pity potty portals. No. One time. Because guess what? The thing has already been done. So this is how we not turn cold. And see, I'm working on that now. Thank you for that, LMTMG, because grief is what has us turning cold. Because we have not dealt with the grief. We must grieve. Oh, Many of us are grieving and don't understand grief or know we're grieving. We just know this thing aches and it hurts and it burns and I don't like it here. And it is heavy. Yes, it's heavy, right? But we have to learn how to work through grief, and we all are grieving. We all have taken L's. We all have lost something, someone that we all have experienced grief, and we're experiencing it each day on different levels of our lives. How do we not turn cold? We have to understand that you have to feel to heal. The reason we have turned cold because we don't want to feel it. Think about it. Something that's frozen can't feel. Right? But just like you blocking everything so you don't feel it, guess what? You're not able to receive blessings either because you block. So you're going to stay stuck on the hamster wheel because you're not allowing the goodness to come in because you're too busy protecting yourself and blocking everything. So you're trying to figure out why I can't get out of this, why I've been here so long. You haven't allowed yourself to feel, to heal, and allow the blessing to come to you because you're too busy protecting yourself. We have to learn how to effectively protect ourselves and still allow for the blessing. That's going to come with some real eternal work. That's going to come with a lot of honesty. That's going to come with a lot of self-forgiveness. See, a lot of times we haven't forgiven ourselves for a lot of things we've allowed to happen. And there's shame connected to it. We have to work through the shame. If you cannot work through your shame, dear sister, that shame will have a hold on you and it will age you quick. It will take you down. It will remove all of the things that you thought you had that it was caring for you. You will go into deep depression. You will experience anxiety. You will have no trust at all, not just for people, but you won't even trust yourself in God. Ooh. And when you're out of your alignment or trusting yourself with God, you done lost the battle. Yeah. You have to get through the grief. And we must learn how to align and balance, okay? Protecting ourselves, trusting ourselves with levels of discernment, okay? And forgiving ourselves for making ourselves available to things that have happened to us. We were only in a certain space and place of limited information when we allowed those people, places, and things to hurt us. Come on, we only had a limited amount of information because if we would have knew then what we know now, we wouldn't have let none of this shit go down. Think about it. So we have to understand that those were teaching experiences. Those were experiences to show us who we were in that moment and where we need to elevate and how we need to evolve. Right? All right. Come on, I'm going to let my sisters come on in here and share for this next 15, 20 minutes. Who has something they want to say regarding this topic on sisterhood, competition, collaboration over competition? Very important. Why? Kim got the chicken. Okay. Lanisha got the grease. Okay. Ruby got the frying pan. Okay. Twyla got the stove, right? Allison got the potato salad. Mama Mook bringing the greens. Oh, shit. Look like we got a party jumping off, right? We got LMTMG bringing the fruit. We got Anitra bringing the rice dressing. We got Queen bringing the juice. We got Tanya, Karen bringing the cups and the spoons and the... Look like we got a potluck finna go down, right? Meaning all of us have something to offer and bring to the table. But we will not ever know what that is if we don't allow ourselves to be somewhat intimate with boundaries. Remember, most of us are feeling what we're feeling is because we didn't have solid boundaries. But once you create solid boundaries, you can go into intimate spaces with people and sisters and be able to have these conversations to find out she may just have something you need. And not be scared to what? Ask for it. And if it comes with a exchange, be willing to exchange it, because what she's giving you is obviously valuable. Why? Because you need it. You don't have it, and you need it. And if she tells you a level of exchange, and if it feels right to you, give her level of exchange, and quit thinking everybody's supposed to give you something for free. God damn it. People time, energy, knowledge, all of the times they done read 5,200 books. They done went to workshops, classes, been under mentors and trainings and master teachers, and then they come to you, and you come to them, and now you want something for free. And you mad because you gotta pay for it because you feel like you shouldn't have to pay for it. No, because they know they value. Because they know they value, and they telling you they value, you upset. Well, maybe you need to understand and know your value, and you won't be upset when somebody tell you the level of exchange for their value. Come on. Because guess what? We ain't finna, in the car part, most of the people that want free ain't finna give up nothing for free. Selfish ass. I always want somebody just come give you something. No, we're not doing that. Understand your worth and your value, and then you can respect other people's worth and value. Right? All right, I'm opening the floor, dear sisters. Where we at? Let's go. I'm opening the floor. Who's coming in? Who's speaking?
I'll come in. This is Eve.
Hey, come on through here, goddess. Come on through.
So, well, everything you said, well said. I thank you. And I just want to say thank you for, to the women in my family, my ancestors, for going through all that. So I know what to do and what not to do. And, as I'm going through and releasing, the wounds of I started echoing, the wounds of the womb, I didn't realize how much was going to come up, and that I hadn't really felt through and seen myself, how I have shown up for myself. And so the way that I've shown up for myself, that projection has, shaped and molded how I view other women, judge other women, how I have cultivated friendships over the years. Recently, I had a situation with a sister, and I wanted to address it because one thing that I had learned that was very toxic and unhealthy was like how I seen the women in my family when there was conflict, the fighting, the tearing each other down. So I would avoid voicing my concerns and my true feelings with my loved ones because I didn't want to fight, and I didn't want to risk losing a friendship, right? And so, yes. And so when I said, okay, I have to do this because I value this friendship, and I know that this was just a part of me not really knowing this person intimately, or we're growing intimately in the way that we're learning each other as we're evolving, right? And so when I approached my sister, I thought that I was approaching her with love, but my tone came across as an attack. And when she said, whoa, first of all, so then I was triggered by her response. So we both triggered each other, but we were able to work through it. And we were able to reflect on it. And what I didn't realize was the way I approached her was something from her childhood with her sister. And so it's like, you're coming into a situation wanting to present yourself with love, not even knowing how you're triggering your other sister. And so I said, well, I didn't come at her no type of way, but I realized, yes, you did, Eve, because number one, you didn't even say, sis, I'm coming at you with love. You didn't, your voice escalated, and so I had to be honest. And so when we talked about it later, I said, thank you. I learned something from that experience, and then she was able to open up and share with me the reason why she was triggered by it, and so, something that I took with me is even when I speak, when I'm talking to another sister and say, want to talk about a situation, vent, what are my intentions? Am I showing up and expressing this to cause harm to my friend's character? Or am I really wanting to work through it from a perspective of another sister outside of it? you know, so just being honest, you know, like that has really helped me, being honest with myself. And you know, the mothers, they have said, it's okay, release it, let it go, open your heart, show up, you know, do better, please do better. You know, we have to do better. And so, you know, every day is a new day. I'm learning. And like you said, seeing my shit, how am I showing up for myself? Because if I'm not showing up for myself in a healthy way, then I can't show up for my sisters. If I can't be real with myself, I can't be real with my sisters. You know, and there was another thing what was it? Hold on, because I got it on my notes. The patriarchy, the effects of patriarchy, shrinking yourself in rooms and not getting attention. So something for me was early on, one of my first relationships with a man that was older than me, he told me, you know, a woman is like to be seen and not heard. If my friends are over, you know, you offer us something to drink, something to eat, but you get out of the way. Don't speak too much to my friends. And, you know, and that was something that I would like share with my other friends, but I realized how it had affected me to where I started to be insecure around my friends, you know, or my sisters, let me say that, their mates or someone that they were dating. Yeah, because it was like, oh, I don't want to be looked at. I don't want to be seen this way, but it's really diminishing my light, you know? And so, you know, that's still something that I'm working through too, is like being confident of showing up, even if I'm dressed, quote unquote, provocative, because I am large. I have large breasts. So my breasts are going to show no matter if I have something that is revealing my cleavage or not, you know, to where I can show up and not feel insecure. And that is a mother womb as well, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, so yeah, so that, yes, but well said. There was so much that came up, but I wanted to share that. And so I give thanks that now where I'm at in my healing journey, I'm really able to not only see myself, but feel into it and feel if I was on the receiving end, how would I have felt if I would approach myself that way or said these things, you know? And so, yes, I have been that toxic friend. I have also been that supportive friend. I've been able to see myself and whoo, baby, like I'm so thankful for growth.
That's all you could say because it's still a journey and we
Yes.
are constantly learning. We are never going to be the epitome of a sister because we're dealing with our own stuff, right? But
Yes.
something that I heard here when you said you and the sister had got to the you know, the bone and everything, and I'm so glad you did that because I know that elevated you both. It elevated you both in your own relationship with yourself, but also in being in relationship with another woman. That elevated you being able to communicate that was just phenomenal. I love when I hear that, when you can get together and y'all mess and work through it. You say what I'm saying? Now, something I heard though, and we do this often, many times we are putting our projections off onto others. We are placing projections. You know, I had to check myself the other day. Somebody had paid for a class. That class is not coming on right now. So I told her, well, you need that class, but you really need this more. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that money and just transfer it over. And I had to stop myself. I said, oh, stop. First off, I want to apologize to you for telling you first off what you need, because only you know what you need. I say, second of all, I want to apologize for telling you how to use your money. If you need a refund, we can do that too. Like, I had to stop myself in my projection of what I thought for someone else based on who I am and what I'm experiencing. You know what I'm saying? And we do that a lot. We project and we reflect. Well, deflect. We reject. We project, okay? We project our feelings of what we think is on another sister, and that causes problems. It causes a lot of problems. So before we speak, we have to ask ourselves, am I projecting? Am I projecting my feelings of what I think is for her onto her? You see what I'm saying? Because only I know what's good for me. You know what I'm saying? You know, when this is something that happened when I remember when I was releasing myself from my marriage and I was leaving my home. First off, let me tell you sister, something. If a woman ever leaves her home, okay, let's be clear. Her home. Now listen, Your home is your haven. A woman's sanctuary is her home. But if you're in a relationship, if a woman is in a relationship and she ever leaves her sanctuary of her home, there's some real stuff going on that she's not expressing. And what happened was when I was leaving my home, going to stay in hotels, I wasn't expressing 100% what was going on because I still had a marriage to protect because I didn't know where we were going. Right? I didn't know if we were going to get help. I didn't know if we were going to, you see what I'm saying? But when I would express and be gone in hotel, what sisters was saying is, and this was really, it was hurting me because it was making me feel like they were reducing my feelings. Even if I didn't give you my full experience, understand that if I leave my home, I obviously don't feel safe. Number one, okay? A sister don't feel safe if she ever leaves her home, and don't ever say, "I wouldn't have left my home, girl. Shoot, he would have to get out. You leaving your home." And don't ever make a sister feel something's wrong because she left her home. I need you to use more intellect and think, wow, sis left her home. Something really going on. You know what I'm saying? She ain't told me, but something is going on. She obviously don't feel safe. And I got that a lot. It was like, you left your house? Oh, girl, what's going on with you? You should have left your house. Anytime a woman leaves her home, her place of sanction, of peace, where she cook and clean in love, inside of that home, the medicine inside of that home, whenever she leave the medicine of her home, we need to support her. Whoever just came in, please put yourself on mute. You interrupting things, baby. Thank you. So, yes. So we have to be real clear that we don't project our feelings onto our sisters. And also another thing we do in order to reroute things that have triggered us in situations with our sisters is we deflect. That's another thing. And if y'all need to go look them words up, go look them up. Shit. Look, deflection. It's when you showed up and you've been revealed in something, and what you've done now is you put it on the other person. It's a part of gaslighting. Some shit we didn't learn from our parents and everything else. Gaslighting. Okay? Deflecting, running away from your own admission in something. Okay? These are two very powerful experiences that taint a relationship, a friendship, and a sisterhood. Okay, so let's be aware of that. Also, something else we do, telling another person somebody else's business. Like, why? The gossip. We have to stop the gossip. If you are not speaking in good conscience and good faith for the value of a sister, please stop the gossip with your messy bitch ass. Stop the gossip. It's we in a new day. We in a new day. This is the return of the matriarch, and we ain't got time for you messy bitches. And some of y'all gonna go leave this right now and go run and tell it. When you know what, you make sure when you run and tell it, you go check me out and tell them to come over there and meet me too and like my shit. Don't follow and get some of this good word. Okay, Allison said correction is love. Yes, it is. Also, we must also not criticize, but have constructive criticism. We must know how to softly and intimately, but with power, speak to our sisters when we need them something to be revealed to them. Okay, we must go into prayer before sometimes we speak. Every time you want to say something might not be the right time. It's a few things I have to say to a few of my sisters. I'm waiting for the opportune time. It's there, and I'm still dealing with them and loving them and hugging them and all that. But I'm waiting for the right time to present itself to say, okay, sis, since we're here now, let me express this to you, and I want to share this with you in love. Are you willing to receive it? This is how I'm coming to her. right? And she, yes, I am. Okay, remember this day back such and such? This happened and this is how I felt. I know you may not intentionally have wanted to, impress that feeling on me, but I was triggered, sis, and I wanted to know, can you not do that to me again? Because I felt some kind, like, this is how we gotta talk to our sisters. But so much has happened and we're so hurt, we immediately feel like we're being attacked every time another sister out of place. A sister body shamed me and don't even know she body shamed me. I know she don't know she body shamed me. You know why I know she don't know she body shamed me? Because how she feel about her own body. She told me how she feel about her own body. So when she body shamed me unintentionally, I know she didn't do it to hurt me. She was only responding to how she feel about herself. Oh, but see, it take some wisdom and some experience to know that and not feel attacked. And I love that sister dearly. Right now to this day, we still talk, we whatever. But I'm waiting for the opportune time to sit her down and let her know. Right? But see, I'm sure enough about myself to know, hell, I don't hate me on that level. I ain't mad at me on that level. That's her and how she feel about herself. That really don't have nothing to do with me. All that was a reflection. I was a reflection of how she felt about herself in that moment. So what did she do? She projected. That's the projection. That's the projection I'm talking about. Right? And I love the sister. And I honestly know she did not do it as an attack.
Tracy, and so
go ahead.
I wanted to say, so on that, when you said you were waiting for the right opportunity, and so that's where, okay, because sometimes we hold on to stuff, right? And then we might not, we're waiting for the right opportunity. So the person on the receiving end, the sister on the receiving end might say, well, why you been holding on to this for so long, right? Mm-hmm. And then, so for me, it was like, I didn't want to seem like I was being, disingenuous, not genuine by having a conversation, even though I had these feelings about our last conversation. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So the way that I approached it, it was like, okay, first things first, let me get this off my chest. You know what I mean? And so I kind of want to just elaborate a little bit on that fine line of waiting for the right opportunity to present it versus holding on to it. So maybe the conversation never happens, or, because I've also experienced recently where I found out some things, how a person felt about me, what I did to them. And it's years later. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like you've been holding on to this for so long, how unhealthy, and then also that gossip piece, the tools for, or just talking about why do women feel the need to gossip? What is that? What are the tools to be able to work through dismantling that spirit of gossip? Usually it's learned behavior, but you might not have nothing going on in your own life. You know what I'm saying? Or you might need to go journal.
I'm gonna tell you what it is. You're right. You might not have nothing going on in your own life, but really what it is, it ain't that they ain't got nothing going on. It's that they got too much going on in their life and they deflect. Mm-hmm. They ain't trying to deal with the shit in their life, so they ready to talk about somebody else's shit.
That's why I say you might need to go journal and dump your own thoughts down on paper. Yes.
Yeah, they running away from their shit. And that's that gossip is. Come on in through. Who coming up in through here? Let's go.
Mama Moot.
Hey, Mama Moot.
Hey. I apologize about earlier.
Yes, no, I called you in earlier.
Well, I called myself praying, right? And when I looked down, I'm on mute.
Okay, baby. Hey, Mama Moot.
Hey, I want to talk about the gossip piece and what happened to me from that gossip piece. I'm going to try to make it short.
Okay.
2 years ago, I met this group of sisters. Well, I didn't really know one of the sisters personally, but one of the sisters and I had developed a relationship. So some information was shared to me about one of the sisters that I shared with her. Mm-hmm. And so now this is 2 years later. Me and this sister that I shared the information about, we're in this group together. And the two sisters have fell out. And I'm, trying to get them back together. And they finally come back together. So when they come back together, the sister left the group. I said, And my womb said, you started this. Call her. find out what's going on. And when I called her, I said, sis, is everything okay? Oh yeah, everything is fine. I don't feel safe in the group. I said, automatically, if I've done something to offend you, I apologize. So she said, well, not that you did anything directly, but she asked me, she says, have you ever gossiped about me? I said, yes, I have. I said, and I apologize to you for that. I said, but that will never happen again. I said, oh, I've learned my lesson.
Yes.
So what I go to say is, nothing is ever hidden. Anything could be innocent on your part, might not be innocent on the other person's part. So when I could have said, oh, well, did she tell you what she said? But no.
Right.
I took full responsibility for that because I was out of order.
Come on.
So sometimes it might be innocent conversation, but to another person, that's gossip. If you share somebody's business without them giving you permission, I'm letting you know it's gossip.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that is, as Eve said,
And
it's a
we've
learned
all been
behavior.
guilty. And we've
Yes,
all been guilty.
yes, it's learned behavior. If you see your mama on the phone or you see and they talking about somebody else's business, gossip. And that person didn't say it's okay for you. So what I say, it took 2.5 years. But then guess what? Something happened between the sister. She never came and told the other sister about it. About because I figured it out. Spirit, my womb told me you're responsible for this. So she never said anything to the other sister who had gave me the information, nor did I. So she come back and she was trying to get in touch with that same sister, and she asked me, "Well, this was between me and you." I said, "Oh, sis, nothing is between me and you. I don't know nothing about what's going on between you and her. I told you I don't do that anymore." And to this day, when someone brings me something, no, I don't want to hear that. You go and tell her. If there's a problem, that's none of my business. It has nothing to do with me. So we can stop all things. I bought a lesson. It was a bought lesson.
Yes.
But it was a good one.
Yes. She said it was a good one.
Look, I shocked her. She thought I was going to say no. I said, oh, I have gossip in the past. I said, but I was told to stop doing that. So I don't do that anymore. So I apologize to you. She didn't know how to take it. And to this day, I didn't say anything to the other sister because the one that bring the bone is the one that carry the bone.
Right.
So I don't bring bones and I don't carry bones and I don't accept bones.
And you said a very valid point. We must learn how to stop people, especially when we feel you can feel the energy of gossip. You can feel if someone's coming to bring you information with the right spirit, a good spirit, speaking high about a sister, or I may go to Allison and say, Allison, Eve need us right now. I can't tell you everything that's going on, but call your sister. Like it's certain things you could do without having to necessarily expose the person, because we have to be, minded that that person might not necessarily want to tell everybody, or they might not want to tell, it's things are personal. Everything is personal to the person. So you brought up something very, very important. Thank you, Mama Moo, for accepting and responsibility and accountability and being an example of what it is when you didn't messed up too. Yes, thank you, Mother. Thank you.
Sister Tracy, can I add something to that?
Yes, what's that?
Hi, it's Requesta.
Okay, let me bring you in, Requesta. Come on, put your where you at? I'm trying to find you in here.
The red and red. I don't know if you can see me.
Okay, I see you. Come on in here, Sid.
All right.
Okay.
So this thing has elevations, and I could probably write a whole book on it, but I want to share something. I guess since December, I went through a whole series of things with exes, narcissistic friends, bringing them all in. The one thing I want to say is sometimes you got to clear your deck. Clear your deck and not be afraid to sit alone in your own thoughts, especially if you've had a narcissistic exposure friend. A lot of times, and you have to take responsibility for bringing them into your circle, and they disrupt your whole circle and turn your circle into flying monkeys, but you participated in it. You may share something with them, And then like you'll share something good and then turn it into, well, what blah blah, and this person this and this such that. And all of a sudden, before you know it, you're 3 hours on the phone gossiping about somebody you had no issue with. And then they come into your life, they bring chaos, you start absorbing the chaos, and then they like to go to the next friend. And then I saw this pattern, like, whoa, they came into my life with gossip, drama. Then I introduced them to my other friends, which we were cool with. Then they turned into a flying monkey, do the same thing over here. I'm like, and then it's like, oh my God, this is so toxic. And then you realize this has been in your headspace. You spend 3 hours, 2 hours on the phone. They're always calling you. They gotta be. If you have a friend that has to always be in your headspace, cut them off. Yeah. No one should have that much time to sit around and talk about nothing.
Or access.
Yeah, access, because they're accessing your spirit too.
Yes.
They are not elevating you to a next level. And I'm gonna tell you, whoever needs to hear this right now, do not be afraid to lose those people, because they are blocking other good people from coming into your world. I lost 3 people I thought were some close friends and an ex, and all in the same within a month. But let me just tell y'all something right quick. God has brought in a whole tribe of sisterhoods. You know, I reconnected with Eve, which we hadn't misconnected, but we never had a chance to go deeper. Then she connects me with you guys, and then I'm connected to my spirit, and I was able to spend time along with my spirit. My garden business, I'm about to go and start my garden business, which I always wanted to. I stopped working 65 hours a week. I have more time in my space. My money is more in my bank account, y'all. And when I tell you this, the universe, wherever you are, I don't know who, in the sound of my voice, if you are listening right now, if you would just stop whatever's in your space, blocking your spirit. Be not afraid to be alone. Let the ancestors talk to you. Your money, my credit score went up almost 200 points within 2 to 3 months. My bank account has more cash. I don't even work, y'all. I don't even know what grace is on me right now. I am doing better, not even working half as hard. My space in my mind. I want you to understand, whoever hears this, whatever is blocking your blessing, and I promise you, somebody right now is being blocked by somebody they think is a friend. Oof. You think they are your friend. They are praying, you are praying with them, and they are praying against you. Stop worrying about your man sleeping with them. They are literally siphoning your energy, your blessings, and blocking you from good stuff. Walk away. Be not afraid to be alone. You are not alone. You are highly flavored and blessed right now. And I just hope that this finds somebody and they understand that the grace is out there for them. Their friendships, their true friendships are waiting, and they can become a friend to themselves first. Listen to your own voice. Take communion in yourself. You will be surprised what will come into your life. And just don't be afraid anymore, because there's somebody being blocked right now by somebody who has no intentions for them. But I'm not going to preach, because this is not my preach session. I just want to share that, because I want somebody out there to understand that they are not alone, and to cut them phone calls off. Cut them off.
Yes, baby. My thing is, we're not talking about healing. We're not talking about elevating. And we're not talking about going to this next level, going to this seminar, going to this workshop. And we're not talking about something that's edifying my soul. I am not going to be on no phone with you over no 2 minutes. I'm sorry. Other than, hi, how you doing? How's mama? The kids fine? Okay, girl. Gotta go. Wishing you well. That's it. I'm a woman of few words, honey, when it comes to this phone thing. I don't even like this thing on my ear like that. I can't stand it. I'm so serious. I have a friend, baby, she got earpiece, she got all kind of stuff going on. And I'll be like, you love that phone. Girl, that phone could ring. Let me tell you, that phone could ring, and I'll be right there in that kitchen, that phone just be ringing. Kids be like, so-and-so calling. I'll be like, I get it. I get to them. It's like, it's not pressing for me to have to always talk. So yes, thank you so much for Quisa, because I'm very aware of the conversations that I have, because they're feeding my soul. You know what I'm saying? So thank you, sis. I appreciate you. And welcome to the Coochie Church, honey. Ocean, you got something you wanted to say? Come on through here, Latoya.
Okay, so I have just experienced this week, and I was in the process of kind of isolating myself and working on some of these traumas and things of that nature for several months. I have been already having womb issues. So I knew to isolate myself away from family.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been doing that and just minding my own business and just dealing with my tribe. But and it I will admit that it was an ego situation where a certain situation happened last week where um a family member used another family member. You know how when you don't deal with certain family members and another family member comes up into your mix and
Okay.
you know the person that you're closest to kind of put them up to it. It's almost like they put a battery in their back to say something to me that they normally would not even say to me.
They planted seeds.
They planted the seeds of dissension.
Yeah.
So when that happened, I immediately went on attack mode because I'm like, we don't even talk. So why are you even engaging with me? Like, why are you even talking to me? And the reason why I knew the other person, and it was based off of Facebook, it was something that was on Facebook. And the reason why I knew the person put them up to it was because they liked their comment immediately and they knew it was an attack. Because it was like, why are you even over here on my side of Facebook when you're never over here when I'm posting things positive or whatever? But now that I'm saying something that you don't like, you want to let me know that you disagree. I already know you don't agree because we know this in real life. This is social media, let it be social media, but in real life, we'll discuss what we don't agree on, and that's fine. We'll leave it at that. But you wanted to let me know publicly on this public platform and in front of the, community that you don't agree with me. And
Yeah.
so I knew that was an attack. So I immediately called them and they started, and I FaceTimed them to want to, to say, hey, like, what is going on? Why are we putting this publicly? Well, once they started ducking and dodging the phone calls, I was like, oh, this was intentional.
Well, can I ask, did you block these hoes?
The hoes blocked themselves.
Okay, good.
But the issue was, listen, Tracy, this was my biological sister that did this.
Oh my, sorry, I didn't mean to call her hoe.
But that was whole behavior, and I knew that. Because and no,
sometimes the mothers just say, they tell me it's okay, and I say what they tell me it's okay now.
But I'm glad you said that because I didn't really share what was said. But my sister is definitely a pick me, and I know that about my sister, and that's why I limit my interaction with her. I was limiting my interaction with her. But what she did was she had a younger cousin who's like 20 something. She's like 22. I'm 46 years old. This 22-year-old cousin of mine, she be on her side of Facebook and I be on my side of Facebook, minding my own business. And y'all be over there, and I don't engage in nothing that you post or anything like that because I don't want to be making you feel like I'm shaming you or trying to correct you because we don't have that relationship. But my sister and I do.
Okay.
Or did, rather. And so when my cousin commented under my post, and I was like, girl, you're not even married. Why are you fighting for a marital post that has nothing to do with you? My sister is married. So it was something that triggered my sister that she used my little cousin, because even the wording and the verbiage of the comment didn't sound like nothing my little cousin had anything to talk about because she's not married.
Yeah. Sis, we experience moments where, people will try to build a campaign on us. We've done that, and sometimes we don't even have to have things outright that we can see and we can feel it.
Oh, I felt it. Oh, I knew it.
We can feel when the campaign is being built.
Immediately knew, because the post literally just said, marriage, I said, unpopular opinion, marriage does not protect women from being baby mamas or single mothers. I just posted that. That was all I posted.
Well, you didn't just trigger them, you triggered a lot of people, sis.
I don't listen.
You triggered a lot of people, not just them. They probably just was the only ones that was willing to, say something or reveal their feelings.
No. And that's fine. I don't mind other people revealing their feelings. I understood that because I had people in the comment section and we dialogued about it.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine.
Because it's a right and exact. It's a right and exact. You absolutely right. Well, on that post, hey, you were just stating facts.
But I didn't.
Just because you married don't mean you're not gonna be a single mama or feel alone or be by yourself. I know a lot of people married and still feel alone, you know.
But that's how I knew my sister put my little cousin up to it, because first of all, my little cousin is not married. She's not a single mother. She literally posted a whole paragraph of things like, well, if you go into marriage with that mindset and then da 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 da, and I was like, that's not even for you. This ain't even about you. And what I'm saying is, this little cousin never posts anything on any of my posts.
Right. So then you know that she was seated. You know what I'm saying? She was seated. And this is really about you and your sister. And I'm hoping at some point you guys will be able to come to some mutual place where you can have a discussion. You know what I'm saying? And if not, then so let it be. Because sometimes we have blood kin and blood ties to family members who we come here as a soul family, right? But then when we get here, we have to have some disconnect. For whatever reasons, we're no longer attached to that soul in that person that came as a brother or a mother, as a father, as a sister. Sometimes we have to detach from that, and that's okay too, but you got to be able to sit well with that.
No, I sat well with it, because like I said, I called the cousin and then I reached out to my sister. She didn't never answer, and she never replied back to my text message, and they both blocked me on Facebook, so that was that.
Okay, sis. Well, I'm glad that you was able to share that, sis. And yeah, so you also identify with also too, how that post made you feel. Like, what was your reason for even posting that? And all of that, like, identify with all of that and feel standing on it and in it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm standing on it. I had watched a video. It was talking about how people shame single mothers. I've been a single mother before, and the post was about single mothers being shamed by married women, and people, especially men, shaming single mothers and making them feel some type of way. But you don't know how you can become a single mother through divorce, through being widowed. And so that's what spawned that post. So so that was why I posted that. But even my sister, she doesn't like a lot of my posts, and I understand that. But the reason why I knew my sister had something to do with it, because previously, a couple days before, I had posted something else, and I can't remember what that post was. I don't want to go into that. But there were men that were in the comment section that didn't like it, and we were kind of going back and forth, and that was fine. But she made sure to let me know that she liked their post. She was clapping for them, and I kind of let that slide. So she was already letting me know, coming over here, letting me know, I don't like what you're posting about, which we already know that in real life. That's what I'm saying. In real life, we already know that you and I are on two opposite sides. I'm a womanist and you are pick me. We already know this about each other.
Okay.
So we don't even have to comment on each other's posts, because in real life, we know that we do not agree.
Yeah, that's social media something, honey. It'll have, I think somebody put in here about being a social media gangster, honey. It'll have you, boy, you be bold on some social media. and get it in the real world, you timid as hell, So yeah, it's interesting. But thank you. I appreciate you, Latoya. Thank you for sharing and letting us know about, you having an issue with your actual real sister, like your, blood kin sister. And many times, that goes back to what we've been shown by the women in our families. Like,
oh, for sure.
And then also in the family, what? You have favoritism too. You got some of the family members, the girls getting more favors than the other ones. The grandma like these two better than the other ones. We go through all of these dynamics in the family that also reflect how we're going to show up in our friendships, in our relationships, period. So we have to analyze this work. It is definitely an unfolding. We got time, 2 more minutes for one more. If somebody wants to come in and speak, We got 2 minutes. Other than that, we're going to go ahead and end. We're going to end our Sunday. I want to thank all of the goddesses that are present. Thank you so much. Please go into the chat. If you go into the chat, I put a class up in the chat. It is Yoni's vaginal steaming, and I'm gonna put it back at the bottom so you can see it. For those of you who probably haven't moved up, it's Yoni vaginal steaming for self-care, awaken the goddess within. It is a free course. It is my love offering to you, so that you can begin healing from the deep space of where your sacrodotal seat of power is, your womb. That is very, very important, that everything is housed in the womb. Everything is housed in the womb. Please understand, everything is housed in the womb. Feelings, emotions, creativity, trauma, everything is in that womb space. So that's why it's so, so important that we begin our healing there. And it is a beautiful, beautiful class, beautiful work, self-care work that needs to be done. So remember, before we go pointing our fingers at a sister and speaking about what someone has done to us, please go back and reflect. Have you been the best example of a sister? Have you extended the hand of sisterhood? Are you being cold? Are you attacking? Are you being dismissive? Are you being hard? The way that we show up really begins to prime the relationship. The way that we show up, our beliefs, our preconceived notions, our pains, our trauma, all of this we bring with us in every relationship, including the relationship that we have with women. Okay. Allison, you've been very, very quiet today, darling. I wanted to ask you, would you like to pray us out, goddess?
Wow. Yes, I have been very quiet. I've been sitting over here actually. If I make first of all, I want to say thank you so much because Priestess Shaman Tracy Bryant, because this subject of sisterhood is very touchy. I've been over here holding space for everyone on this call because we all have been touched by pains. But I want you to know that I also, which is an honor, sit with the primordial mothers. An earlier part this week, a message had came to me while I was on the phone with two of my beloveds, Mama Eva Hawkfoot and my goddess sister, Priestess Eve. And the message of I would love to share is that we don't have to hold these pains anymore, that we can release those pains. There is spiritual salve that wants to come in. Mother wants to come in and love you right where you are. But you have to be willing to be open. Whether you may have gossiped, whether you may have said something out of hurt, whether you may have felt guilt or shame, you don't have to hold that any longer. There is an unconditional love that's waiting for you. And in order for us to be able to have more sacred spaces like this, we have to first go into sacred space with ourselves. It's so important. It's so important. So I have been quiet because, like I said, I have been holding so much love for everyone on here. Don't be ashamed where you are. Don't be ashamed of what you have done. It's the past, because now is a new time. It's a new time and it's a new day. Take up your bed and walk.
Woohoo.
Take up your bed and be healed. The wounds of yesterday, the wounds of social media, the wounds of what has been said is what a lot of times we have to say, like the Christ said, Father or Mother, forgive them, for they know not what they do. People project on us where they are. They project their hurts and their pains. And that's what we have to use spiritual.
You muted yourself, sis. Let me unmute yourself, Allison.
They
There you-
hurt.
Mhm.
I'm going to stay in a place of prayer with boundaries. And I'm going to honor and pray for that individual. So I want to take this time out to say, we thank you, Mother and Father God, for showing up on this call today. We thank you for the wisdom, the pearls, the knowledge, the sacred medicine that has went forth and dismantled the seed and the root of dissension among us all. We thank you for every person that has showed up. We thank you for every ancestor that has showed up in support of their daughters for the purpose of healing. We thank you for this shaman, priestess Tracy, bringing us the sacred medicine for us to apply it to our life. And as we go forth on today, we take the wisdom with us in love for us to do better so that we can show up better for ourselves, so that we can be better sisters. I say Ashe, Amen, and Amen. It is so.
Yes. Ashe, amen, and our woman. Thank you, goddess. Everyone go forth and be great. If you'd like to get exclusive content and be part of our exclusive community, go find us at the Coochie Church on Facebook. We are doing some amazing work over there. On April 29th, I believe that's also the Sunday, we have Mama Mignon, and she's going to be speaking about our ancestral mothers inside of the group. So if you want to be part of that, we have our elders who are teaching, and we have, like I said, we have our sisters who are coming in and teaching. So definitely go check us out at the Coochie Church on Facebook, and be sure to get that free healing class. That free healing class, and start on your healing activation today. I want to thank you as I come to you as your sister, your mother, your mentor, and your friend. Ashe, amen, and a woman. Yes, go forth and be great. Have a beautiful, beautiful Sunday. Peace and blessings.